What's good, guys? Fantasy Joe back here with my week 2 running back rankings. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. If you have any questions or comments, drop them in the comment section down below. I'll respond as always. Any fantasy questions, anything you guys have, I can let you guys know how I would proceed. If you're like, I want to add this player, should I cut this player? I want to start this player, should I, wide receiver versus a wide running back, something like that, comment down below. Also, hit that subscribe button to bring home that fantasy championship. I have everything you need. Waiver wire video came out yesterday. We have rankings released today. We have buy low, sell high released today. Probably more videos throughout the week. Fantasy lessons was released on week 1 on Monday, bright and early. So content is getting out early when you guys need it. So hit that subscribe button if you want to bring home that championship. This is the edge that you need. All right, let's hop into these half-point PPR running back rankings. At number 1, I've got Bijan Robinson against Philly. This list might look a little different. That's because I don't think Christian McCaffrey is going to play with his Achilles tendonitis. I think he's going to miss a little bit more time than people think. I think he'll miss this week, and then I think we'll see week 3, week 4. But right now, Jordan Mason looks like a hot start that could get you off to a really good start of the season. He was my number 1 waiver wire ad yesterday. If you guys checked out that video, another reason to subscribe. That's why Bijan is at number 1. And he also is an absolute study, a chance of catching CMC coming into the year. If CMC was healthy with the type of utilization we thought he was going to get this Atlanta's offense, and if the offense is good, that part we still don't know. But I think Penix could potentially be starting here sooner rather than later with the way Cousins has looked. But Bijan's usage is very encouraging. Philly isn't the best matchup, but you're starting him. And number 2, same game, Saquon Barkley against Atlanta. We saw him shine in week 1, had the most carries of any running back inside the 20. That's a great stat for him. That gives him enough opportunity to score, even if he's not the goal line back. We saw him have a 2-yard rushing touchdown, though. So maybe only Jalen Hurts will be stealing him on the 1, which is actually huge for Saquon. Number 4, Kyren Williams. We saw the similar usage of what we saw last year. I think Blake Core and Ronnie Rivers, these guys are going to be utilized in, try to get him a little bit less usage. But I feel like that's almost good because hopefully they can keep Kyren on the field a little bit more. But Kyren in a good matchup against Arizona is a locked and loaded play. Number 5, Jonathan Taylor against Green Bay. JT, he is – in this one, I just think they're going to win. I think that the Indianapolis Colts are probably going to beat the Packers. And I think Jonathan Taylor benefits from that game script. I think he'll score a touchdown in this one. But yeah, that's basically my reasoning. Number 6, Jordan Mason against Minnesota. You're wondering, and he might even be a little bit higher on my list than this, to be honest. But Jordan Mason's a locked and loaded top 7, top 5 play, basically, moving forward every game that he plays for Christian McCaffrey, because he's going to be the lead guy in this offense. And anyone who has been the lead running back in this offense we've seen be successful. And the offense right now is on a different level than even some of those past previous years with the other weapons around him. Brock Purdy at quarterback, some of those things. So Jordan Mason should continue to smash. Number 7, we got Derrick Henry against Vegas. I think this game script's going to be much different for Derrick. That's why I think he's going to be such a good play. So them to be up, him to get 20-something carries, have multiple chances at touchdowns. 8, Joe Mixon plays Chicago. The type of volume we saw him get was awesome. I think they win this game pretty easily. Joe Mixon's a great play. 9, Isaiah Pacheco against Cincinnati. Another game I think they'll win. I think they'll need to be running the ball in the fourth quarter. Who's ready to do that? Pacheco, he played 80% of snaps in week 1. He's locked and loaded. Number 10, I got Jahmyr Gibbs against Tampa Bay. This one worries me a little bit on Gibbs. I do think there's going to be some games where the ceiling just falls out for him or the floor falls out. But I think what you're hoping for is tempering your expectations. You're hoping for 10 to 15 carries, but probably closer to 10. But if you can get, 4 or 5 receptions in that receiving game, which I think both of those things are very reasonable. I expect that to happen. Him to have at least 10 carries and 4 receptions in just about every game. He still should have a chance to, give you some really big weeks and have some good fantasy games with how good he is, how good this offense is, things of that nature. Number 11, James Conner against the Rams. James Conner is just about always an RB1 when he's healthy. I have full confidence in him in this matchup. Achane. Now, this one is a little interesting. Monitored the practice report for him, but he had 7 receptions in week 1 on 7 targets, 10 carries. That type of utilization is fantastic. He'll be shooting up the board even higher if we see that continue. 13, Kenneth Walker against New England, another guy. He's got a core injury, monitor practice reports, but if he plays, he's a good play. 14, David Montgomery gets a ton of volume in this offense on the ground. Tampa Bay has good run defense, but I'm still playing David Montgomery because he's got such a good chance of scoring a touchdown, and that offensive line doesn't really worry me about many matchups. 15, Josh Jacobs against Indy. This one's a volume play. I think he's going to get the ball a ton with the Packers moving forward. Malik Willis, the backups, banged up around him. Both of them missed last week, so I expect Josh Jacobs to be pretty good for fantasy football on volume. Maybe not have the touchdown opportunities that he's once had. Number 16, Travis Etienne Jr. against Cleveland. Tank Bigsby's diving into that workload. He's still getting the valuable touches. If it wasn't Cleveland, I think he'd be higher, but temper your expectations slightly for Travis Etienne. Although I don't think it's a bad thing if Tank Bigsby steals 10 carries a game from him when he's catching the passes, getting the goal line work, and I think his efficiency overall will go up. Just need that offense to be better. Number 17, James Cook, got the ball a ton. Honestly, just a lot of good running backs this week. That's really what it came down to. I have James Cook. I really like him. One of my favorite guys going into the year. I just don't think he has the highest touchdown upside. That's why he's down a little bit lower, but I think he should get the ball, close to 20 times in most games where they're able to run it. I think they'll be able to run the ball in this game. 18, Alvin Kamara plays Dallas. Going to be utilized heavily in that passing game, heavily on the ground as well. Just a bunch of opportunities for him and ways for him to score points. Number 19, Rachaad White against Detroit. Another guy that could be higher up. Bucky Irving got some work from him last week. Tough run defense, but he catches the ball a ton. That's been his MO for the last several years. Expect Rachaad White to still be a great play moving forward. 20, Jerome Ford. This would be a guy I'd be excited about if I drafted him because he was just out there all the time. He was not coming off the field. That's what you want to see. He ended up having a solid fantasy performance with that garbage time touchdown. Draws a much more favorable matchup this week against Jacksonville. But just watch out for Jerome Ford moving forward. I expect them to want to utilize him a lot, especially with Deshaun Watson's struggles. But Jerome Ford is going to be a usable fantasy RB2 moving forward with upside. 21, Ramondre Stevenson plays Seattle. Another guy who got the ball a ton in week 1. Ramondre is talented as well. It's just how far can this offense take him? That's really the slight I see on Ramondre. But I think he's really good, locked and loaded at RB2, maybe more moving forward. 22, J.K. Dobbins. This one's a bit of a projection, but he's shining in week 1. I expect them to be up in this game and have the opportunity to run the ball, and J.K. Dobbins is a hot hand right now, so I expect him to be fed or get at least 10 carries, which can be enough against this Carolina Panthers defense. Number 23, Najee Harris, a guy who got the ball a lot this week, got the ball 20 times last week. They played Denver, good matchup. They should roll for Najee. Brian Robinson Jr. plays the Giants, caught some passes and had a touchdown in week 1. Giants' defensive line is good, though, but Brian Robinson Jr. just keeps finding ways to score fantasy points. 25, Raheem Mostert against Buffalo, another guy to monitor that injury report. But I think Mostert is a pretty good player, and I think if he is healthy, he's the one I'm more worried about injury-wise, because I think if he's healthy, his role would have just been different last week. Maybe that's me just going too far, but just how few carries he got and things like that, I don't think that's the plan for Raheem Mostert. So he is banged up in my opinion right now. But monitor the practice reports. He's missed the last 2 days. Today will be a big day to see if he practices at all. 26, Zach Moss. He's the guy there in Cincinnati. They play the Chiefs this week. But you never know if he can still have a touchdown in this game, so he's worth playing. 27, Aaron Jones, San Francisco. I think he'd be higher. I just don't expect this being a good game script for them in the second half against a tough San Francisco defense and a great offense there in San Francisco as well that could keep them from running the ball in the second half. 28, Devin Singletary plays Washington. Singletary's a good player. He gets the ball, well, he's an average player, let's be honest. But he gets the ball a decent amount. Playing Washington, they could have a chance to be up. Who knows how this game's going to go. But he's a worthy play. Spelled his name wrong. Ezekiel Elliott gets New Orleans. I think he's got the highest touchdown upside in that roster. And then Tony Pollard was the 1A for Tennessee, but he draws a tough matchup against the Jets. If you guys have made it to this point in the video, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you have any questions or comments, drop them in the comment section down below. I'll respond as always. Keep those fantasy questions coming, guys. I really appreciate them. And if you guys are new to the channel, like I said, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and I will see you guys next time.